So today was the second day of Packers mandatory minicamp, so I want to go over all of the different updates that came out from different reporters. And if you are new here, I put out Packers content usually 2 times a day, covering news, everything that's happening in Green Bay. And if you're into that, feel free to subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you never miss any Packers news. Now we'll start off here with Matt Schneidman, who says this: Josh Jacobs has an excused absence, same reason as Jair, McKinney, and Nixon. Been here all offseason, and LaFleur told them to take a hike as a reward. And so throughout all of OTAs and minicamp, it has been a really good showing when it comes to just all these players and veterans showing up. There's been a few different days where guys like Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith weren't there. But all in all, a lot of players have been present for a majority of the time. And I think that we've seen just how close this team is and the chemistry that's already there, especially from what happened to end last season. But I think the bond that this team has continued to grow as the Packers have continued to put in the work and play throughout OTAs and minicamp. Then here from Ryan Wood, we have Packers' first offensive line today: Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, Sean Ryan, Andre Dillard. They've been giving Dillard good reps throughout the offseason. And I noted there, yesterday, looking at minicamp, Dillard started at left tackle and Jordan Morgan started at right tackle. So that means yesterday Rasheed Walker was not starting at left tackle, which he had been for a lot of OTAs. And so today they switch it up a little bit, putting Dillard back at right tackle, which we saw as well throughout OTAs. And then Jordan Morgan apparently came in a little bit later to play right guard. And honestly, right now, they're moving these guys around so much that it's really hard to tell what they're thinking and what they are planning for what this offensive line is really going to look like once the season comes around. And Matt LaFleur even said today that it's going to be training camp where we really get an idea of what the Packers' plan is here on the offensive line. But just a ton of different variations the Packers have been playing with there on the offensive line. Then here from Wes Hodkwitz: Wilson blitz off strong side and Love lobs a ball to sideline, which Wicks soars to bring down and touch toes inbounds for a nice completion. And we saw Dontavian Wicks down the stretch last season. I mean, I feel like he was one of the Packers receivers who was the most consistently open. And even though he didn't have quite as many snaps as some of those other guys like Romeo Doubs, as the year went through, you could just see how much talent he has, and the fact that he was a 5th rounder seemed to be a steal for the Packers in the 5th round. Should have gone much higher, I think. And so the Packers loaded a receiver, Wicks coming down with a nice play. Then here from Andy Herman: impressive catch from Dontavian Wicks to go up and get a ball from Jordan. Probably about a 10-yard gain. It looked high, but Wicks skied for it, and that was the same play. And then we have here Stokes and Enagbare all over an outside toss to Lloyd, Marshawn Lloyd, rookie running back. Nice little inside run by Lloyd, shifty as always. Looks like AJJ Anthony Johnson Jr. may have got a bit banged up, safety, 7th rounder from last year. He was talking to a trainer earlier, not doing team right now. Helmet is still on, and he's working off to the side. And in these past 2 days, it sounds like Marshawn Lloyd has made a ton of really, really nice plays from these different reports. And the fact that he was a 3rd rounder, I think that he has a good chance to win that second running back job. But we'll keep an eye on that one with him, A.J. Dillon, Emmanuel Wilson, competing for that second spot behind new running back Josh Jacobs. Now here, again, Andy Herman: love to Bo Melton. Melton went and got it low with Valentine in extremely tight and fantastic coverage. Good play all around. Rashawn Gary just absolutely smoked Dillard. Dillard on the ground. Rashawn will do that to you. Love to Watson over the middle, complete, but Evan Williams would have him dead to rights in a game. And when it comes to this offensive line battle, we've seen Rashawn Gary during OTAs. There was a play that Jordan Morgan also got beat by Gary, but I think it's something you expect from one of the better edge rushers, defensive ends in the entire NFL. And Dillard came into Green Bay this offseason, has struggled since being drafted in the 1st round back in 2019, I believe it was. But the Packers seem to be playing him a lot with these starters. Of course, Zach Tom has been dealing with a pec injury, and so I don't necessarily think Dillard is going to win one of the starting jobs, but he has played a good amount. But right there, not a great play. And Bo Melton was great down the stretch as well. So the Packers have a ton of receivers that can get the job done. Then Andy Herman: Marshawn Lloyd with a sick one-handed catch on a screen pass that goes for around 20. Lloyd caught it and just immediately burst right past Slayton. Nice play by 32. Another nice play. Love to Dobbs for a nice pickup. Sapp right there to make a play, but the ball beats him. Nice play from 10 to 87. And when it comes to these receivers, sort of thinking about who could potentially be the receiver to be the most productive, I guess, in 2024. One quote that I found interesting from a Jordan Love interview when he was talking about working with his receivers in the offseason, he did share how both him and Romeo are in California and how they work with the same guy. I'm not sure if it's their coach, something like that, but they work with the same guy, and so it sounds like Love and Dobbs have been getting more work together than with the other receivers. And so I think we already have seen last season how much Jordan Love trusts Romeo Dobbs. And I feel like in big crucial moments, third downs, it seems to me like if Love had to pick anyone to throw to, it would be Romeo. And the fact that they've been training even more together gives me the thought that we could see Dobbs even take more strides forward next season in their second year together. So interesting to note. Then Ryan Wood says this: Robert Rochelle limped off to the sideline earlier, but he's returned and just jumped a stop route from Julian Hicks to pick Sean Clifford. Hicks slipped a bit on his break, but good recognition and finish from Rochelle. And yesterday, Sean Clifford threw 3 picks. Today, he throws one there, so he seems to be struggling a little bit with his accuracy. Then hear from Andy Herman, who says Deslin Alexander beats Luke Tenuta for a would-be sack on Clifford. Clifford fires downfield. Nobody there. Been a tough couple days for the twos on offense. Keyshawn Banks comes crashing in for a would-be sack of Pratt. Dubose goes up for an impressive catch off a slant from Pratt. Then from Ryan Wood. Jordan Love had one bad throw. Behind on Tavian Wicks on slant. Quay Walker should have picked it from trail coverage, but dropped it. Love then engineered a 2-minute drill to get in range for winning field goal from 49 yards. Completed 3 of 6 for 47 yards. Jordan Love had a big 11-yard completion on, and I think that's 3rd and 3, or third and something. Slant to Romeo Dobbs to get into field goal range. Had a 7-yard scramble one play earlier to set up the 3rd and short. Nice drive overall. Then here's some kicker information we got from Paul Brettel. Kickers again in practice with their teammates huddled around them, yelling and throwing raw water, trying to create some havoc to create that pressure type game situation. From 51, Podlesny missed left. Joseph good. Carlson good. From 54, all 3 kicks were good. And that is one battle we will also be watching all of training camp, is that kicker battle, because the Packers, clearly they wanted to bring in some competition for Carlson, bringing in veteran Greg Joseph. Carlson struggled a ton down the stretch last year. Also have Podlesny, and so that's going to be a battle, and I think that, honestly, I have no idea right now who's going to win it. We'll watch in training camp. Then from Ryan Wood, Packers minicamp is down to a couple more meetings, and then it's summer vacation. Next up, first practice of training camp, July 22nd. And that is exciting. Training camp, a little over a month. It's like, a month and 10 days away from training camp, and we'll finally be, revving up, getting to the preseason, getting ready for the actual season, which is the best time of the year for the 5 to 6, 7 months, however long the season is. We're slowly but surely getting there after this long, slow period, probably the slowest period of the entire year from now until July 22nd. And I'll still be making videos here on the channel, but stay tuned for all that. Stay tuned for training camp updates. It's just great to get back into that, almost regular season swing, which will be coming up pretty soon. Then Andy Herman. Matt says it's TBD if they take 3 kickers to camp. Will be Goody's decision, but have already had some conversations. Matt also confirms today is the last day of minicamp. Instead of a team-building activity tomorrow, he is giving the team the day off. They went bowling last week. So minicamp on the schedule was from June 11th through 13th, but it sounds like they're cutting it a day short, and apparently they had that team-building activity last week. Then Matt Schneidman says this. Matt LaFleur says there was one play today he thought the offense was going to trick Edgerrin Cooper on. Cooper sniffed it out so well that LaFleur asked the defensive coaches if they showed Cooper the practice script. They hadn't. So, second rounder, Edgerrin Cooper, sounds like he has a pretty good feel for, what the offense is doing. And if that's what he's doing already right now in minicamp, it's a great sign for the Packers, who I think have a chance to have a really, really solid linebacker core with Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper. Then here's the final tweet today. We have from Ryan Wood, Matt LaFleur says it's inexact science determining how much to cross-train Jordan Morgan this early. Morgan played everything but center in off-season program. LaFleur says it's in our long-term best interest for Morgan to go through a lot now rather than waiting until season. So first rounder, Jordan Morgan, they're just using him in many different areas, tackle, guard, trying to find, what his best position will be going into this next season. And if you guys want to see more Packers content not on this channel, I do have a Twitter/X, whichever you still call it. You can follow me, Luke Beller3 on Twitter. I'll leave a link down below as well. And just throughout the day, sometimes I'll share different things about the Packers there. So if you're into that, feel free to follow me there. But that is all for today. If you haven't subscribed, you want more Packers news, make sure you turn on the post notifications down below. And I'll still be out with videos, even though minicamp is over. We won't really have a ton of news probably until training camp. But stay tuned. Maybe we'll get some kind of Jordan Love update from now until training camp. And if you want to stay up to date with the Packers, feel free to check into my channel whenever you'd like. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.